Okay, so what is our inclination at? That is a very good question. Are we in a good 91.7, which I'm sure is fine, but if we can adjust it, why not adjust it? Now, I'm very happy with my closest approach. I don't know which way brings that inclination better, so I'm just going to add a maneuver here. And does burning, okay, burning anti, so it's burning normal. So what I'm just going to do is put on SAS, turn that off there, now that ended. Put that onto the normal vector. And I just want to get my inclination, see it's 91.7. So all I want, I think I have this turned way down, I do. So I'm just going to give a little bit of thrust and just watch that inclination. And when it gets down to 90, I'm a happy guy. There we go, 90.0. Our closest approach is 300.2 kilometers. I don't see any reason to adjust that. So we're going to run our circularization script. We're going to create a node that circularizes at periapsis. That's going to cost us 170 meters per second. Oops. So there's our orbit we're going to be in, and we're going to drop our first satellite there. You know what? I'm not going to run that alignment script. It was getting kind of... Just going to do that. I'm sure that would be fine. Okay, I need to up the thrust because the burn's going to take 2 minutes and 8 seconds. The thrust is low. 14 seconds is a nice length. Okay, so again, I'm going to quick save in case I mess up with my time warping. That seems to be the way I mess up the most. Let's get ourselves to Minmus. And we're going to do our capture here, and then we'll drop our first satellite. This is the satellite that took a little bit of damage, but I think it should be okay. Just way to the south of Minmus here. And this satellite's going to be doing a multispectral analysis of Minmus. 20 seconds to the burn. All right. Still 823. Oh, this thing has so much fuel. I am not going to be at all starved for fuel. There it goes. Again, we're aiming for a 300 by 300 orbit. Because I believe, I'm starting to forget now, but I think that was I think it was 300, this one's 250, and this one's 70. Should maybe have written those things down rather than depending on my feeble memory. Okay, program is complete. I'm going to put this onto the normal vector. And the reason for that is this thing's about to burn prograde, and the last thing I need is it to run into itself. Okay, so we are going to decouple. Oh, wait, before I do that, extend that antenna so I have communications. Okay, and then we're going to decouple. And I should be on this guy. Okay, from here we can extend our one non-broken solar panel. And we can start our SCANsat scanner. Say that 3 times twice. Okay, enable that. There it is. That's all it is. That's the entire animation for that. There it is. So that should be now doing a biome scan. And it should all be pretty good. I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit for the solar panels. I'm not sure why that's off. Just a smidge, but it seems to be. Oh, because we're in an inclined orbit, of course. That's why. Okay, let's get back to our other probe. And let's put it on, let's actually manually put it onto retrograde here. That's prograde. I was worried just if I clicked to retrograde that it would whack into that. Okay, that's probe number 1. Now this has got to get down to a periapsis of 250. I'm just going to do this manually. There we go. Bye-bye. Good enough. 248. And then again, run circ at periapsis. And we're getting ready for our next burn. We're going to have to, this is a tiny, teeny, weeny little burn. Come on, burn time. 3 seconds? 7 seconds, okay. I'm going to put this at point. Well, maybe just 1. What does that give me for the burn time now? 11 seconds, that's better. Okay, I'm going to put this view, and we'll get ready to drop our next one. Yeah, I flipped that decoupler, so notice how the platform disappeared, because the decoupler was stuck with the probe body. The other way you can have these platforms disappear is to use separators rather than decouplers, but then you got the separator floating around, which I find personally exceedingly annoying, so I would prefer not to do that. Let's just roll this just a little bit, again, just for that solar panel. Okay, let's get down there. Where is Minmus? Wasn't it? Where did Minmus go? I thought we were to this. Am I just crazy? Oh, it's completely looking the wrong direction. Okay, so we're getting down to our periapsis. This is very, very minor orbital change, just going from an altitude of 300 kilometers to an altitude of 250. Okay, running that X-Man script again. Said, I'm sorry if I'm going to say this wrong. Haken says that he meant on the second probe. Yes, I think I flipped the decoupler on the second probe too. It's really hard to tell in there, isn't it? Yes, it is. I can see the little triangles the other way. So he meant the second probe. So this little platform should disappear as well when we lose this probe. Okay, getting ready to do this burn. There we go. You know what I'm realizing, though? I should have checked this. Shoot. It's too late to do this with our first one we dropped, but I'll do it right now. Okay, it just... Oh, it's really having... There we go. Now I've completed the burn. What is this? Ah, it's fine. I should have, if I open up our SCANsat window here... And we're going to turn on this scanner. And we got to change our celestial body to Minmus. And this one's doing a radar altimeter. So we're going to pick the altimetry scan. And I should have done this. Let's lock this on the prograde vector. Okay. So these lines here are showing our orbit. And as we're doing the orbit, it's doing the scan. You can see it's already done a little bit of the scan right here, right under us. Here's our probe. And as it moves along this orbit, it will be a band coming like this. And the blue part is the orbit that's ahead of us, and the orange part's the orbit that's behind us. And these little lines here represent every time for the next 100 times or something, the probe is going to cross the equator, going either from north to south or south to north. And you want these lines as spread out as you possibly can. And so right now would be a good time. I'm going to adjust this thrust as low as I can. To be honest, this one's pretty good. But if I burn, you know, if these little lines, you just need them to be as spread out as they can be. So if I do a little bit of burning, see, now they're all clustered together. That's not good. I gotta be careful. I only have so many ignitions. Maybe I should stop. I don't think I accomplished much, but I just wanted to show people that that's the idea with these little lines, to get them all to be as spread out as you possibly can make them. That's what that's all about. And I didn't do it with the first probe, so I hope the first probe is okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, let's take this one and deploy it. So we're going to extend this antenna. And we're going to grab this decoupler. There it is. And decouple. And we're going to switch to you. Oh, I haven't been renaming them either. This guy here is Minmus Mapper B. The other one was Minmus Mapper A. I'll rename that at some other time. Okay, we need both of these solar panels to be extended. I know it needs both. Thankfully, not one of these ones broke, because I'm pretty sure this is the one that needs all of its solar panels. Because this scanner works right through the night and uses a lot of power. You can see it needs to be a little bit this way. I want it to be lined up with the galaxy back there. I think that's pretty good. Okay, is everything on? Is it? I think it is. Let's make sure. Yeah, everything is on, so that is good. Okay, so let's get back to this probe, and we will manually go over to the retrograde vector. And a little platform is there, but if I leave it and re-render it, it'll disappear. At least it should. And I'm going to give it the teeniest of little puffs here. Start moving away. Okay. And I want my periapsis now at 250 kilometers. Give you more thrust than that. Or not 250. What am I saying? 70 kilometers. That's what this one's supposed to be at. 70 kilometers. So this one will be a lot closer to Minmus. Oh, that's 80. Silly. And 70 there. That's good. All right, where is that KOS window that I keep closing for some reason? We will run our circularization script. Periapsis. Okay, so we got a 22 meter per second burn. There's still over 1,000 meters per second left in this thing. I think I budgeted okay. I think it's got enough fuel. That's okay. It's better that than the other way around. All right, so that burn's coming up in 2 hours and 6 minutes as we fall down towards Minmus. But just to sort of show people, why don't we quickly switch to the other... Oh, wait, let's rename this one while I'm thinking about it. Rename this Minmus Mappers. Minmus Mapper C. Accept. And let's jump to the original. And when we jump back to this, this platform should be gone. Jump to the first one. So here's the original one I dropped. And this one should be called... I can see it's sort of... Why don't you just stay where you're supposed to stay? This one needs to be renamed Minmus Mapper A, because it was the first one. And let's just take a look at its SCANsat map. Just real quick. There's nothing I can do about it if this is messed up, because it has no propulsion at all. And, oh, let's change the map type to visual. This is doing a... No, it's not. This one's doing the multispectral analyzer. Biome scan. That's the one it's doing. And has it not done anything yet? The scanner should be running. I'm a little bit, refresh this. Come on, Minmus. Okay, hopefully there's not, oh, maybe because we're looking at the night side. It might think we're looking at the night side. This thing doesn't work if it's on the night side of Minmus, so that could be why I'm not seeing it. It might, I don't know. Hopefully this isn't messed up. Everything's on, so it should be okay. Again, you want these lines as spread out as you can. The way they're kind of clustered isn't the best, so, but it's not terrible. It'll still work. Not that I can do anything about it anyway. Okay, let's get back to our Minmus Mapper C. That one. Finish this off. And, yep, see, platform's gone now. Sometimes it just needs to re-render to realize it's no platform. So there we go. That looks kind of goofy looking. It's like it's got a little pig snout at the end of it, isn't it? Oh, and I don't have other lights on it. Yeah, you know what? I'm getting too picky. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay, let's again open up our KOS window. We're going to finish this off. Get down there. There's Minmus below us. Oh, we got a magnetometer scan. I got to move that magnetometer. I'll go do that. Okay. And we will run our script, and this should finish this off. I just noticed the notification that the magnetometer scan in low space, we can check this out here. If I go to my science window, little science archive, take a look at my magnetometer report. Space low in the magnetosphere is now complete. That is the magnetometer I put up last stream. So I should now move it up into the inner belt. We can do that right after this is complete. Where are you, Minmus? We're down here. It's above us. Got some notifications there that have come up. We'll take a look at those in a moment too. Okay, burn is complete. Program has ended. We are in. Are we in a good orbit? 70 by 70. That's pretty good. Again, we'll put this so it is parallel to the galaxy. I'm not going to use the alignment script. That seems to be more work than it's worth. The antenna's on. I think it just needs the one solar panel. So we'll activate our little telescopy scanner thing. And again, we might be thinking we're in the night side. It won't do this on the night side. Let's just check to see how we're doing here. So this is, we're going to a visual scans, what this one's doing. What is this? I think it lost. That's the biome scan. Well, that's really weird. Okay. I'm not sure what's happening there. It's counting. It's just, that's what the biome scanner, the multispectral. Okay, I don't think it's scanning right now. We could. Let's put this on retrograde. I'm going to see if I can adjust this a little bit more, a little bit better. So we're going to put our thrust down as low as it will go. And I'm just going to burn a little bit in the retrograde direction. And we're going to watch these lines. And again, the idea is simply to spread them out as much as you can. So see how they... Oh, am I burning? I am burning. Yep. They're spreading out. They're spreading out. That's good. Stop right there. Right? Because every time you want it crosses the equator, you want it to be in hopefully a different position than the last time it crossed the equator. And that will get it mapping everything more quickly. And again, this scanner won't work Will not work on the night side of Minmus. It needs the daylight, so I think that's why it's not working. But I think I'm happy just leaving it here, letting it do its thing. Okay, so let's get to our magnetometer satellite, and then we're going to call it. I think that'll be the last that'll end this all off. So let's see, magnetometer. Again, one of the later ones we did. Oh, it's called the OKTO 2-2. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. Should really call these things something about what they do, but I didn't. John Nowak thinks that the multispectral analyzer also does a visual scan. That's very, very possible. So maybe one of these scanners is completely superfluous. Look at that perfectly blacked out silhouette. Why? I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that. Are the lights on for this thing? So the lights are all on. There's just something weird happening. Hopefully when we get to our daylight, it's going to be okay. But just to sort of explain to people what is happening here, let's turn everything off. I'm going to put on, I think it's B. Yep, there we go. Get our Kerbal information body here. So right now, if I put on our inner belt, we are below the inner belt, but we are still inside the magnetopause, which is that. So we got the low space in the magnetosphere science. So what we need to do now is stay in low space, but get ourselves into this first radiation belt. We're going to do that by simply pushing this thing prograde. Oh my gosh, I can't see anything. The spark engine, what's the thrust to weight ratio? I just don't want this to end up pushing. Yeah, let's reduce this a little bit. I'm going to just do this manually. So we're just going to push up our apoapsis. So we want to keep it, this is what I'm looking for. I want to keep it in low space, which is below 250 kilometers, but I do want it to get up into this first radiation belt. So we're going to burn, and we're just going to push. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have reduced my thrust as much as I did, but that's okay. It's still going to work. So I'm watching my apoapsis. It needs to stay below 250, but I'm pretty sure I can be below 250 and in that belt. Wow, not by... Oh, yeah, there we go. I can see it from here. It's going to be fine. So I'm at 244. Again, we will turn on our KOS here, and we will circularize there. This is time it's circ at apoapsis. So there it creates our circularization burn, 100 meters per second. Okay. I'm going to... Let's see, do that, do that. I'm hoping as soon as we come out into the daylight that this blackout will have go away. I gotta watch it, that I don't time warp past. Here it comes. There he is, hello. Good morning. Okay, let's get out to that burn. And notice I need to increase this thrust, the burn's very short. There we go. So what we should be finding now is that this thing is now collecting science. Yes, Kerbal space low inner belt. So it's in now a new situation. So we're going to run the Xman script here. And it can collect, it takes, I think, 7 days or something like that. I can't remember exactly. 7 days for it to do the entire thingy. Now, while it's here, it should be, I'm noticing there's no warnings, but the radiation should be bad. Oh, maybe it only gives you the warning when there's a Kerbal aboard, but I think the radiation's pretty high. It's about 5 rads. No, I don't think that's high. I don't think the radiation is high. Maybe it's because we're so low in the belt. I'm a little bit worried because I upgrade the probe core because the radiation does affect the electronics, but what I neglected to do was to upgrade the reaction wheels. And I can see something here. Yes, reaction wheels are taking radiation damage. I could have upgraded them. Hopefully they'll be okay, because if this thing loses reaction wheels... well, it does have thrust gimbaling, so there is a second means of attitude control. We can probably still get the job done. Alright, so it should now be in an orbit entirely in the inner belt here. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave it here for about 7 days. And once it's completed with that, we are moving on to the outer belt, which is this one. And we'll keep making our way out through the Van Kerman belts. But I think that's all going to have to be for future episodes.